Back at you with some longer form content once again. We're going to be completely removing this sidewalk. Don't mind my thumb. Sorry about that. We're going to be completely ripping and removing this sidewalk. And once we do that, we're going to be replacing it with a paver patio sidewalk to match the porch exactly. The porch is constructed from Cambridge, toffee onyx in color, so that's what our pavers will be to match. Now, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of the Amish way right now. We're using the pick, we're using the sledgehammer, but don't worry, we are going to get to some electric tools. Just wanted to create a bit of an opening. Now it looks like I'm dancing, skipping around. Just sped it up so we don't waste you with some boring demo. We're going to get this completely removed. Now that was a 4 to 6 inch slab. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our shovels and we're going to be digging down. I want 10 inches. I want 10 inches below the grade for this patio. So I take it, I dig it out, I then take my rake and I scrape it out. I want it perfectly flat and square. I want all loose chunks completely removed. I want it to look a bit neat, which you don't really have to worry about. I just don't want any loose things in there to mess up with the compaction. Next, I'm going to get my compactor. I'm going to go through, I'm going to compact the hell of it. I'm going to go at it over and over again. I do not want this to settle. I want it to be as hard as possible. Once this is done, I'm going to be putting my string lines in. I use the string along to keep them at the perfect heights. And once it's strung up, you'll see that I'm going to be dumping at least 6 inches of stone underneath there. Actually, it's going to be about 8. We're going to compact in 4-inch lifts. Once we get it down, we compact the first layer, we add the second layer, we then rake it out. We're then going to throw a compactor on it. I know it's 3/4 clean. I know it's 99% compaction on its own, but it can't hurt to hit it with a compactor, so we're going to do it anyway. Next, we're going to get our bars. These is 3/4 inch steel conduit that measures outside to outside 1 inch. It is sloped so that the back of the patio, which is the edge of the steps, is higher than the driveway. It's also sloped so that the porch end of the sidewalk is a little bit higher than that going the other way. So we're going to run water both ways. We take 3/8 stone for our bedding sand. So we had 8 inches of 3/4. Now we have 1 inch of 3/8 for our bedding. This is the new open grade base that the Paver Institute has required or what they want now. I know it's constantly changing, but now it is the open grade base that is best for compaction and drainage. So now once we get it in, we screed it out so that it's not level, it's just perfectly flat. We then take out our poles and we fill in, and then we take our mag float. I know it's for concrete and not for stone, but we're just gonna quickly screed it out, knock down any humps, bumps, and lumps because we want it perfectly flat with pitch. Now we're gonna start with our border. Our border is a chestnut brown, I believe. It's going to contrast the inlay, which is a 3-piece Cambridge toffee onyx in color that will match the porch. We then do our border and then we run in. We are doing it so there's no 4 corners, there's no repeating pavers. It is a randomized 3-paver inlay pattern. We're following our string lines to keep everything straight. We then wet it to clean off from any cuts that we had. Next, we're going to be digging out and we're going to be pouring our cement border. As you can see, it's going to be about a 6x6 border. We're going to stay 1 inch down from the top, so we're eventually going to be able to go grass on top. You're going to say, how do we do that? Well, you use a black beauty grass seed and some organic topsoil. The black beauty grass seed works because it takes very shallow roots. You got to water the hell out of it, and you got to do it in the right season. Anyway, now that we got our concrete border in to fully lock the pavers in, it's time to turn our attention to the G2 polymeric sand. We sweep it in entirely, but we leave it above the paver. We then go back with our dead blow hammer, beat it down, and we add it again with a fine-tooth comb, so it's 1/8 of an inch below the paver. We then do the shower setting for 35 seconds and hose from the highest point down.